Screenshot lo.
I was screenshot.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Itu padang.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, dah. Boleh start.
Oh,
Alright.
okay, semua ready?
Ready.
Dah ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Miss-
Okay.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you so much, Mr. Anik, for taking the time to meet with us today. My name is Raina, so I'll be moderating today's session on behalf of our group. Okay, so just a quick introduction. As you know, we're from UITM, and we've been assigned to assess the role of technology in the supply chain and operations of a company, and we chose your company. And we're really grateful that you agreed, and we're really excited from now on. Okay, so before we begin,
Thank you.
I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Nufaraina, and the rest, please introduce
My
yourself.
name is Nur Izani.
And my name is Iman Isaac.
And my name is Firdaus.
Okay. Uh, salah. Okay, so we have a couple of questions we want to ask you. I'm gonna ask about your company background, your core business, about technology, because we're mainly focusing on technology, how it supports your operations, the challenges you face, and how you deal with those challenges. And as you know, we're also recording, so all right, let's get started. Who wants to start with the questions first?
Alright. With the first question, I would like to ask you, Ms. Tanik. So, what is your company's core product, and how does your business depending on it?
Okay. So to start off, let me give a brief introduction regarding my company. So I work at Western Digital. So Western Digital is I would say a data provider company. So our core business is providing the data storage to various places. So for example, such as data centers, um, other companies also such as sorry, um, but basically, yeah, we have various we deploy various the data storage such as hard drives and SSDs to these companies. So to delve deeper into that, my specific role is in the development of the application used in the manufacturing of this. Yeah. What was your second question?
And how does your business depending on the product that your company are trying to sell out to your users or your clients, if I may ask? Yeah.
I don't really understand what you mean.
Okay. What does your business centers on? What is the I would say, how to say, like, how does your business align its productivity through the things that they are trying to produce?
How sorry. You, I can answer the first one, which is
All right. Okay.
when you ask what do we provide. So like I mentioned just now, we provide um, data storage to companies and users. So as you know, if you went into, like, for example, PC image, you've probably seen like our brand for a hard disk drive or SSD. So we just provide the storage for users to store their data.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Have any other
Okay.
questions?
Eh. Uh,
Right.
my question is, any technology related issues or problem that the company face while running the business?
Okay. I I would say yes because since technology is constantly evolving, so we as a company we're trying to move in the direction of where we think the technology is heading towards. So, for example, right now, since we're in, I would say, like in a boom of AI, so right now our company is trying to shift our direction towards um, trying to automate some tasks using AI. Regarding the problems that we face, I would say that one problem specifically in my um, workplace is the how much manual tasks or labor that the operators are doing. So, for example, some of them would still prefer to keep not prefer, but since it's they've been operating since 2020 something. I forgot when Western Digital took over, but then before that it was under a different company. So they've been using Excel spreadsheet, for example, to store data and keep track of things. And some of them also in their sampling process. So this sampling process is what they use for QA in making sure that the disk that they provide is sufficient for users. So during the sampling process, some of them still use pen and paper to keep track and to associate this with this sampling process,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. So a lot of things are still manual, I would say, and not really automated and centralized online. Yeah.
Right.
Can you elaborate more on like the pen and they use pen and paper for the sampling process?
Okay. So to elaborate more, so this sampling process it starts with okay. So there's this one process called an AOI machine. So let me Google real quick. What?
What is AOI?
Yeah,
Don't
that
know.
I think it. So okay, so AOI stands for automated optical inspection. So what they do is they use a laser to see the surface of the disc, right?
Mhm.
To see if there's any defects or um to basically see if there's any defects or scratches on the surface of the disc. So using this laser, this is the sampling. They will basically take the data from the AOI machine and make sure that um, the data is below a certain limit. So how the first process that they do is they will take the disk from the cassette from the AOI machine, and then they will assign a ID ID to that disk. So this ID is to keep track that this has undergone this sampling process. So how they keep track of, let's say this is this A, they'll write, okay, this has ID 1 on the paper. So okay, and then they'll know that this A belongs to the sampling ID 1. So they
Ah,
keep track of this inside the paper. Only then that they will key in into a program, if that makes sense. So I actually I have a picture of the paper, but then I don't think I'm allowed to
yeah,
show it.
not
Wait,
okay.
wait. I think it shouldn't be. Let me see the paper first. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'll just send like a screenshot to the chat, I think. Sini chatnya. Oh,
Yeah.
cannot send picture lah. Share my screen.
Oh, okay.
Later you guys
Okay,
censor
nampak
lah.
Nampak,
Okay.
nampak. Oh,
Okay, so this is the paper that they use. On this left here is the ID. So the ID is a running number. Running. So basically, wait. Okay, so it's a running number. So here is the lot. You would say the lot ID. So to delve deeper into this, it would take quite some time. But just know that basically from that machine that we want to inspect, this one is tied to one ID. So they will keep track of this on paper first, and then input it into the program. So as you can see, like the process is say not yet fully automated yet. That's one problem.
What kind of program?
It's a Windows application. The program basically it is what I would say it's called a data entry program. So you key in the data and then it will enter it into a SQL database.
And that's one of the tasks yang that's not automated yet lah.
Yeah. I would say the only automated part is the data entry, but then even then that one could also be improved upon.
You gave us one of the tasks that can be improved. What about the ones that is already improved that you guys are using current?
Okay, regarding that, we have multiple plants in our factory. So so the newest plant is plant 2. That one I would say how it is improved upon is that um, most of the step-by-step process, it doesn't require operators to handle because most of the process there are automated. So let's say for example, there is this one process where in plant 1 the operators would have to move the disk manually and then start the machine. But then in plant 2 the machines themselves will move the disk, so there would be no need for manual labor.
And that's
Yeah.
only in plan 2, not plan 1. For
Correct.
both plan, right?
No.
all right. That's then I think we shall move to next question. If
Next question. Yes, sir.
maybe we could hear some from Fidelis if he have any questions.
Yes, so for the next question is, does technology play a crucial role in supporting its operations?
Yes. I would say the technology that we employ currently, even though it's not, I would say, fully up to date compared to if you've seen the factories from China, or I think the great example is for China lah. But then still we employ technology. The way we employ technology in our factory is very beneficial for us as we're able to track where defects come from, and we're able to solve the I would say, solve and trace back where it came from in the first place. So it saves us a lot of time. And then I would say it's also very beneficial in terms of um, increasing the productivity of our manufacturing line, as they're able to do their jobs faster due to the technology used.
Okay, how do you guys check where the defect is from? Like,
Okay,
is it?
that one we have a term. Uh, I think it's a standard industry term. So we term it as traceability. So traceability is since our factory focuses on producing the we call it substrate, so it's the disc. But then we don't really assemble it here. So we just produce the part which will get assembled in another factory in China, I think. So for our part, um, how it's able to trace back is we basically keep a record and history of how the parts move in our factory. So, for example, let's say since we have of thousands of parts coming in, so each part is assigned their own unique number, and this unique number we will keep a history of from which machine did it go to, what time, which operator, and much more detail. So basically, the I would say data plays a huge role in how we are able to trace back where the defect comes from.
These answers that you've been giving to us from the questions that we asked also, like it shows how much this company are really emerging. And if we may know on the sidebar of things, how could you see that this company would maybe compete within the existing technological company that we have in Malaysia?
I would say right now, just what we're lacking um, is in terms of the automation of the parts, because right now, since we're a multinational company, so we have factories not only in Sarawak but also in the US, China, Thailand, Philippines. Uh, I I think there's more, but then I would say our competition right now is not in competing in Malaysian companies, but then the international brands such as competitors like Micron, or uh, I forgot one more. But then Seagate, yeah, Seagate. I would say we're on the right track as in low if we like make the scope smaller for our company, for our factory here. We're trying to automate as much things as we can so that we can save operator manpower and also save time. But globally, what we're trying to do as a company is shift more towards using AI. Yeah. I can give one example which I'm basically like as developers we're granted to use AI agents to help with our coding, and I think this is already to be in industry standard, because I know certain colleagues of mine from other companies as well have begun using tools such as Cursor, if you've ever heard of it, Cursor, to ask AI agents to help you code. So to me, it helps ship out the applications faster, as well as help in debugging things and understanding legacy code. So legacy code is code that is quite old or outdated. So for you to understand code, it would take some time if there's no documentation. So one use case is that you can ask AI to look through all the code and then um, give you a documentation, which is like a manual on what does this code do and how it is used.
Okay.
Do you guys have any
So
other questions regarding?
maybe these are not really onto the baseline questions that we are already asking you, but if we may know, how did you heard about this company and how it's actually come to your interest to actually work here?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've known about the company for a while because I'm quite I would say I'm quite interested in like PC parts, right? So I've known about the brand Western Digital because they produce hard drives for you to store data and for you to put inside your computer. But then how I wouldn't say it was an interest to work in the company, but then it was just an opportunity, I would say, where I was just browsing on LinkedIn and I saw they had an opening for a position that I was interested in. So I just applied. Yeah.
Can I ask what position did you apply for? Or what's your current
Um,
position?
the 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 specific name is developer one comma programming, but then it's basically just uh software engineer.
So you mostly work with coding, coding,
Yes, yeah.
and you guys also use for you guys use AI for coding also, but for the old codes.
Yeah. Basically, one example I could give is I had this one project where I had to um, I would say update modernize old code which was on old framework. So framework is something like if I had to give an example, like an old game engine, if that makes sense. Because what I had to do was I had to use bring out the same features and functionality but using a new framework. So what I did was I just asked AI to help me understand what did this code do, and then um, I just like translated the old code to new code language. If that makes sense.
Wait, what? Your voice cut off a bit there.
I basically translated the old code because it's in a different language, different programming language.
Ah,
So I just translated into a new language so that it fit the new framework.
ah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It does make sense, yeah.
I think I understand.
Yeah.
It's like I'm changing bahasa baku to Gen Z, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like maybe the the program that you guys use from back then and now is different, right? So even the codes, is it like that? Is that why?
Yeah. Basically, if you notice like Windows update, let's say before this I was Windows 7, XP, then 8, then 10, 11. Right now it's 11. So you can see that software, they will have what they call end of support, where they'll stop giving you updates for Windows 7 after maybe 5 or 4 years. So the same goes for um, the framework. So these frameworks, sometimes they will only have updates up to like 2 years, but then you have to renew the framework so that it's more secure, and performance wise it's better.
Mm, okay, okay.
All right. Any last questions that some of us want to ask?
Wait,
All right. Okay.
wait.
Oh wait. All right.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh,
Eh,
do you guys ever face like anything that's any regarding your cybersecurity, like some kind of challenges like that?
um, so far I would say, I mean, I've only been employed less than a year, but then I don't think there's any cyber security issues that we face, because I would say that the preventive measures that our cybersecurity team takes is quite good.
Mm.
For example, we have our own browser which has built-in VPN, and if we were to work from home as well, also we would need to connect to um, a company provided VPN, so that our data isn't really
In
leaked
in
anywhere.
it's in your cloud. It's in their company server, right? Something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Does your company give like training or programs to keep up with the technology since it's always changing?
Yeah, yeah. We're required to sometimes finish short, I would say short knowledge courses. So for example, this one latest course is um about AI, but then it's not always about technology. It's sometimes about safety in the factory. Like,
Mm.
we're also required to um answer like quizzes and get a certain mark.
What
Yeah.
happens if you don't reach that mark?
Oh, you have to retake the quiz.
Oh, until you reach that certain mark.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If not, your manager would cari you lah.
Okay. Do you guys okay, wait, no. Do you have your own opinion of what what could be done better for your own company, like in any sector or any operation or whatever it is, in your own opinion that you've observed?
In my opinion, I think the most beneficial part would be not really on AI, I would say, but then on automation. Like, I would say automating a lot of things could greatly increase productivity, because um, from my own findings, when I checked on this sampling process, it would take them up to like almost like maybe 6 7 hours per shift. So one shift is 12 hours. So they would take up to like 6 7 hours in their manual labor, such as writing on the paper,
Oh,
um, typing. Most of this stuff could be automated. Let's say you could automate the typing using a barcode which is printed. So this barcode would hold the thing that you would type into the program. Other than that, them keeping track on paper, you could automate also
mm.
using like a dashboard maybe.
But then
Yeah.
you would have to build. Okay, I think you correct me if I'm wrong. That means you have to include the IoT, right? Because you have to scan the barcode, and then you have to come up with like a whole program or system for that, right?
Uh,
Do you?
Not necessarily an IoT because all you would need is just the program in the computer
Uh-huh.
and then just the barcode scanner. So you don't really need like an IoT device or system for this unless you automate the movement of the disk as well. So for example, you need like, let's say you had a conveyor belt,
Mm.
um, and then there's a scanner and sensor. So that one would require IoT. But then I think for that one, we already have a machine that is capable of doing that. So when I mentioned that the machine is able to move one disk to another in plant two, th- they're actually using like sensors for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you guys incorporate the sensor also in that for the
Yeah.
machine.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So you guys are using a lot of technology, IoT, AI,
Mm, and data.
data.
Yeah.
By the way, the one that you mentioned, the cursor, is it like
Mm-hmm.
public use or what? Cursor?
So cursor is able to be. It's basically a software provided by a private company. So you're able to use it commercially or for private use as well. But you have to pay for the license.
Uh-huh.
So what cursor is basically it takes a lot of, I would say, AI models. For example, ChatGPT, and then Gemini, Cloud. So you can basically choose which model that you want to use,
Uh-huh.
but you just have to pay per token. So different models have different of their token. So what Cursor does is it's basically helping you
Pricing.
use that model, coding and providing like
Workspace.
the for it to
Understand?
You
so
got cut off there.
okay, let's say if the difference between using Cursor and using just ChatGPT, right?
Ah,
If I were to use ChatGPT, I would have to copy paste my whole code into the input and then ask it to read and then ask and then I have to ask, for example, if I wanted to understand the code, I would have to ask it, uh, I would have to copy paste the code and then ask it to explain it to me. But the problem here is sometimes in applications we don't have one block of code, we have multiple pages.
ah.
So what Cursor does is it's able to ask that model to read through each page without you having to copy paste, and then it's able to read from a larger context, I would say. So it's like reading from one page compared to one book if you were to use ChatGPT direct or use Cursor.
Is it like
But we don't
you?
use Cursor lah. We don't use Cursor.
Eh,
We use a
okay.
different software, but then it's the same concept.
Kind of like. Oh, okay. Is it that you guys, what's it called? Import the file? Is it like that?
No,
No.
no, we don't import the file, but then we I would say they have the access to your file, so you can set like the workspace you want it to read. So let's say a folder, so it
Ah.
can read the files inside that folder.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you guys don't are not using cursor, but you guys using something like cursor. A software.
Yes, it's a similar software. Yeah.
Did you tell us the name?
Windsurf.
Means stuff.
Yeah.
Windsurf.
Okay, let me see if I have any more questions.
Yeah.
All right.
you guys have any more questions?
Okay, so maybe last one from my side. If I may know and if it's okay to share, what are the benefits of like joining this company, and what when you join this company you see the difference of this organization compared to maybe other tech companies. Yeah.
I can't really give like what I would say the pros and cons because this is my first full-time company. But then I would say the benefits are nice, and I would say it's quite competitive competitive industry where you won't really be just sitting doing nothing if that's really not your thing. Other than that, the salary is also okay, and yeah.
All right.
I have a question.
Okay.
Let's say something happens to like the manufacturing, a disruption.
Mhm.
Do you guys have any measures, like preventive measures, if that happens?
Yeah, we have let's say there's disruption to one line. We first we would see what's the exact disruption. If let's say it's due to servers being down, that one we would just call for we would have measures where depending on the severity, we would call like I would say like emergency meeting where it would involve like the vice president all the way up to um the C wait, let me check what is his position.
COO,
FO.
I yeah, yeah, CIO,
CIO.
Chief Information Officer. So, based off the severity, sometimes the staff would be expected to work not during office hours, but maybe at night, for example, if there was some disruption, depending on the severity.
What is the measures you guys would take? Give us at least one example.
Um, I would say one example would be, let's say, this one happens quite often, where but sometimes they're unable to ship off certain product because the application gives them an error. So sometimes they would report in the group, and usually this one is not my problem lah. This one my senior would do. She would go through the database and see what's the issue, and then either um, solve it manually, or she would inform the operator on how to solve it. So for example, there might be an issue because the ID is or something is missing. So they would, if this happens, she would have to go manually through the tables and see what's the missing data, and then maybe input it manually. Yeah.
Okay, and you mentioned that your company uses Microsoft Teams
Yeah.
for communication.
Yes.
What would happen if it goes down? How would you guys communicate?
Uh, I think this one didn't happen during when I was in Western Digital, but then this one happened when I was interning actually, where Microsoft Teams was down for maybe a few hours. But then I think regarding that there wouldn't really be any issue because um for us we're expected to come to office at least 4 days a week, and the operators who are actually managing the machines don't really have any reliance on Microsoft, so they're able to just continue with the production.
Mm.
So only I guess the problem would only be communications within the administration and management office. But then the longest I knew Microsoft being down was only for a few hours, not for days.
But it doesn't really disrupt any like much of your
Um,
operations. No.
no.
Okay. I have two questions left for my side. Um, do you guys depend on like a single vendor like Microsoft, or there's
Uh,
a lot more?
right now for we're depending a lot on Microsoft for their um Outlook, OneDrive, Teams, and SharePoint, and I think there's more. But then we're not really like looking to just stick to a single vendor. Sometimes, like recently, we've changed vendors to be to get cheaper prices.
Mm,
That one can't really mention which vendor, but then yeah. I think in businesses, as long as they're always looking to cut costs.
okay. Last question. Are there any ongoing digital transformation or any upgrade in your infrastructure happening at your facility?
Mm, in regarding infrastructure, I would say yeah. I think the upgrade is mostly on the machines, like automating. Like for example, I would mention from comparing plan one to plan two, and there we also, I guess this one, we have a robot vacuum, a robot cleaner which cleans floors. But then, we still also hire like janitors. But then most of the floors, I would say every time I walk by corridors, it's cleaned by the robot vacuum. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, do you guys have any other questions before we end the session? No?
No, from my side, no. Yeah,
Okay.
answer.
Ah, you have?
Right.
You have or don't have?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, line slow, line slow. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that will bring us to the end of this session. On behalf of my group, we just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for giving us a lot of useful information. We are going to use it for our assignment. Okay, thank you so much.
no worries. All right.
Okay,
yeah.
Now I want to
If
eat
it's okay,
dinner.
then yeah.
What?
you take picture with the video.
Oh,
We
okay.
take picture first, sorry.
Okay, sit up, sit up.
Alright. Okay.
You'll be in our assembly.
Wait.
Alright. Okay.
Okay, ready? Ready? One, two, three. Eh,
Okay. Alright.
okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your
All right.
time, Angie. Alright.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was actually a good session. I'm not gonna
Kawan
lie. Yeah.
kita kah, Ben?
Dan kawan kapak ni. Kawan
Oh, no
high school
wonder.
ni. Yeah.
Was that
Oh,
good?
sama mo. Kami dua.
Nang sama mo. Sama mo kita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ni ada engineer
Yeah.
while kita lagi student. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, but it's yeah, but it's good Afar that you were in a low
Hmm.
state of asking question. So it's good lah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Stop. Let's stop recording.